Mi-Jung remembers Dong-Jin in high school. No one was really sad about the death of the other students except for Dong-Jin. Of the few moments at school, she did remember making eye contact with him, but she couldn't really see his face. She remembered all the times it happened. At the bench, at the park. Though she never saw his face up close, she knew his name and wanted to speak to him at least once. And on the day of graduation, she recognized him when he ran away from her at home, but she finally saw his face for the first time in the high school yearbook. She watches Dong-Jin on the bridge and is reminded of the first time someone died because of her. The paramedics carry Dong-Jin to the hospital as Mi-Jung watches from the bridge. At work, Un-sil receives a call to meet Dong-Jin at the hospital. At home, Mi-Jung searches online for any information about Lee Dong-Jin to see if he died, and she finally receives one result, and he's alive. He's fine. Jung-hyuk visits his best friend at the hospital and meets Un-sil for the first time. When he leaves, Dong-Jin asks Un-sil for a favor because there is one more variable he does not know. It is something only Mi-Jung can answer for herself. What happens to the people Mi-Jung loves? Un-sil surprises Mi-Jung with an impromptu trip to go camping outdoors. There, Un-sil almost gets caught making a phone call to Dong-Jin so he can overhear the conversation. As it continues, Un-sil points out that a lot of guys liked Mi-Jung, but asks if there was ever a point in her life that she liked someone. Mi-Jung confesses that she only had one crush growing up, and she's not even sure if she could call it her first love. It was her sunbae at church. She actually went to church every Sunday just to see him because she liked his smile. One Sunday, she walks into a pharmacy and overhears a conversation about the church sunbae needing medication for his seizures, and there she learned he had epilepsy. Then one day, before her sunbae was going to leave for university, he gives her his notebook on English, before immediately suffering a seizure. To protect him, she lied to the others and told them that he was stung by a wasp. Later that day, she went to his house with the epileptic medicine, but was too afraid to ask to see him. He was discharged from the hospital and he quietly left the village. She met him again a few years later at the university. He congratulates her acceptance to the college and she thanks him for his English notes, which he actually forgot he gave her. When she realized he completely forgot about her, she immediately got over her crush. Un-sil scolds her for having low standards because the church sunbae was the one who started the witch rumor at college. She then double-checks all of Dong-Jin's statements. The sunbae falls under all of the rules, but he still didn't die. Dong-Jin looks through Mi-Jung's English notebook, which he acquired one day when Mi-Jung threw it out. He then sets up a meeting with the sunbae. Officially, it was accepted that the sunbae was stung by a wasp and had a reaction to the sting. When he had a seizure, Mi-Jung lied about him being stung to protect him, as it was obvious he didn't want others to know about his condition. The sunbae never told her to lie for his sake. That was all her. Dong-Jin gets mad at him for starting the rumor and that he clearly should have died since he met all of the criteria, and he points to a confession that the sunbae wrote down in the notebook he gave to her. Dong-Jin is angry that the only reason why the sunbae is alive is because Park Mi-Jung liked him. He's working out all the possibilities and the formulas only to realize that the only exception to all of her rules was a douchebag who forgot about her and hurt her. Before he leaves, the sunbae asks Dong-Jin why he feels like he deserves to be the exception. Did she ask for any of his help? No, she didn't. Dong-Jin is risking too much just to shoot his shot with Mi-Jung. The sunbae tells him it's not worth it. At home, Dong-Jin contemplates everything he's done. He then writes his name on a sticky note to give a final concluding statement about his report. Lee Dong-Jin. Based on the repeated attempts of breaking the rules involving the distance, duration, and length of conversations, the consequences have ranged from minor to serious injuries. He is Park Mi-Jung's stalker who lives across from her. And if he just stops there, that's what he would be, a stalker who gave her a hard time. The final variable was her own feelings. Only the one she loves can break all of the rules. The only way he would ever have a chance to be with her is to get her to love him. And so, he decides to make a final stand and bets everything on the last variable. Dong-Jin starts exercising and after building up courage, sends a message to Jung-hyuk and Un-sil. He thanks her for all of her help and asks her to keep looking out for Mi-Jung. He then marks all of his books that has Park Mi-jung's name and writes the words "Shine on You" on his window before leaving his apartment with his luggage. His phone rings, but he ignores it, missing the call from Un-sil. Dong-Jin takes a walk around the block and up the stairs to Mi-jung's place. He starts the timer as he arrives in front of the gate and rings the bell to her home, introducing himself as the delivery driver from the local mart. She lets him in and they talk on the rooftop. And there, he slowly counts down every sentence he says to her. He tells her it's not her fault, as she begs him to stop and leave. He leaves a small gift for her and tells her there's something he's always wanted to tell her. Something he's willing to risk his life for, but he won't tell her yet. And as he says his last 10th line, he turns to leave, but then tells her one last thing. He tells her to live the life she wants. When he gets downstairs, he fortunately makes it within the time limit, but he went over the 10 sentences, which is something he still needs to work on. As he walks the streets, an electric pole starts sparking and a truck